Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Desert Knits. Today is December 18th, 2016, so before Christmas and the New Year. I have lots of fun things planned for the New Year that I am going to try and make pan out. This episode is number 24, if I didn't already say. I am multitasking at the moment, so if I seem distracted, it's because I'm listening for the timer on the oven. I'm baking bread. So, Desert Knits. Hi guys! Thank you for coming back if you're coming back today, and thank you for checking me out if this is your first time. The episode today will probably be split into a couple parts because I am baking bread. Actually, I will share the recipe link for the bread that I'm making in my blog podcast notes. I am Laura. If you don't know me, you can find me on Instagram as loraclare and on Ravelry as lora.clare. It might be the other way around. But it's loraclare with a dot in the middle for one of them. I don't remember. I have 2 works in progress, 1 finished object, and some plans for next year to share with you guys. So, let's jump right in. First thing, I have more than 1 project on the needles. However, this last week I have pretty much been dedicated to 1 project. Technically 2, because 1 I finished, but it was a hat, it was quick. You'll see it later. So I am working on a circle shawl. It is by my own design, so I'm using Elizabeth Zimmerman's pie shawl as the recipe and kind of plugging in my own charts to her recipe so that I end up with a circle shawl with patterning, essentially. I am using some Romney that I washed, combed, and spun. I got the Romney at Black Sheep Gathering earlier this summer. And then I am also using the Inglenook Fibers Princess Bride Sicklebats that I spun. Let's see, this would have been, was it in June? It might have been in June. Let's see. I think that's in focus. Can't really tell. I put my camera somewhere else today, so if I really look like I'm not looking at the camera, it's because I'm not. Not really looking. Oh well, whatever. But Inglenook Fibers Princess Bride Sicklebats. It is Australian Bond Fleece, Merino, Silk, Alpaca, Bamboo, Faux Cashmere, Tencel, and Silk Oil. So I have actually almost used up 1 more color. There were 6 Sicklebats. Each color is technically a separate skein, so I have them all wound up here together. I had pretty much finished 1 color. I think I can make 1 more round, and then I will have all of these. But I am up to 500 and some odd stitches, I believe. I'm in the 3rd section of Elizabeth Zimmerman's recipe for a shawl. So this is what I have so far. Obviously, here's the beginning. Here's how much I've worked. It is worked in the round. I do not have very long needles. I'm working on this. Hopefully, I will have longer needles in the next month. But I have gotten quite a bit of progress done this week. I don't have any progress group keepers that I've been putting in, but from last week I think I was only up to here, and this week I have finished that whole section and started, you can see the Princess Bride yarn in there at the very, very top. I have started section 4, which is 500 some odd stitches around. I am using lace patterns that I like. This last section I'm using a feather and fan so that I get kind of wavy with all of my different colors. And then the other project that I have been working on this week, I was knitting and knitting and knitting. I was partway through all of this stuff, which is not the easiest lace, I suppose. It's I think it's the Frost Flowers chart. So I really like the pattern, but it's not something that there were 200 and something stitches around for that section, and that was a lot of knitting of the same pattern for a very long time, and I wanted to work on something else. So I started spinning the Alma Park Alpacas Cafe au Lait bats that I got in a swap, holiday swap. So this is gorgeous fiber, gorgeous bat. I love the blend. It is a 40% baby alpaca, 25% merino, 10% milk fiber, 5% Firestar, and 20% split between faux cashmere and Firestar. I cannot tell if that's in focus. I don't think so. Here. This webcam kind of drives me nuts sometimes. But, anyways. Alma Park Alpacas, pretty nice. It is super, super soft, and I absolutely love it. The colors are perfect, and the sparkle is fantastic. But I am using my bristlecone rat goddess to spin this. Now it's out of focus again. Come on. I feel like I need a giant piece of paper or something that I can put here so that it stays in focus. Not gonna help. Okay. So I'm spinning it on this. This is a lovely, lovely, lovely spindle. I just got it. It has some of my rats on it. So, I'm spinning it fairly fine. I don't know what weight I'm going to end up with. I never do a little sample thing for this kind of thing most of the time. But I want this project to last a while because the fiber is so nice. So I'm spinning it fairly thin. I will probably use all of my bristlecone goddesses to spin this fiber, and I will probably have to empty them just to make sure that I have enough space for all of them. So those are the two things that I've really worked on that are still works in progress this week. Now, the thing that I worked on this week that is a finished object is a beanie. It's just a basic beanie. It is the Turn a Square pattern by Jared Flood. I use this pattern a lot. Like, at this point, I don't even bother most of the time putting these beanies in my project pages on Ravelry because they don't take very long. This week we ended up having a pretty cold week. Today I think we're up to 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Yay! It was cold and snowy and icy and kind of miserable. And because of that, I actually had left work or went to work late for 3 days of the week. I only work 4 days a week. So Monday I went into work at noon. In that morning, I had woken up at like 4 a.m. to let the dogs out to go potty, and it was snowing. So when I woke up for work 3 hours later, there was enough snow on the road that it was, my car is low enough that I was a giant snowplow. So I didn't go to work on time. I went into work at noon. Wednesday, for whatever reason, we had a snowstorm again, but this time it started in the evening. So I went into work normal time. I left work, it was like 4:30 or 5, so a couple hours early, because it started snowing and sleeting and it was all icy, and I wanted to get home before it became impossible for me to drive. And then on Thursday, because of that snowstorm that lasted until very early Thursday morning, I think, I went into work late on Thursday. So, on Tuesday I think I cast on Wednesday I knit most of it, and I may have finished it on Wednesday, I don't remember. It was done by Thursday by the time I got out of work. So, on Wednesday night, I got home from work, I took care of the horse, and then we actually went to a local bar and had some drinks because it was freezing out, and we decided to go out. Went out with my boyfriend Ty and our roommate, so that was fun. So those are the things that I worked on this week. Now, because it is mid-December and we are getting to the end of the year and everyone starts making plans for knitting and crocheting and spinning and weaving things for the following year, I actually have some plans for next year already. I am going to knit a pair of socks every month. Andrea, the cat lady, is going to, she did it, I think she actually finished it, I want to say she did, this year, and she wasn't sure she was going to do it next year, but I want to, and I think that I need some encouragement, like personal, hey, here's how far I've gotten, how far have you gotten kind of thing. So I asked her if she wanted to do it again with me, and she said yes. So I will be knitting one pair of socks every month for 2017. I will. It's not an I'm going to try, it's an I will. I am going to be using stash. I don't have 12 skeins of sock yarn that I can use, but I do think that I have enough scraps, and from the socks that I will be knitting from full skeins, I will be creating more scraps, so I shouldn't need to buy any sock yarn at all next year in order to complete this challenge. There are some self-striping socks or sock yarns by some different yarn dyers and designers that I want to try, so I may end up buying a skein or two, but primarily I'm going to try to knit from what I have. And then for January, February, and March, I'm going to participate in winter camp again. So it is a knitting challenge. You essentially knit as much as you can, finish as many projects as you can, and you earn points based on yarn weight, yardage, if you use like the month's color or designer. And I did it last year. The format is a little bit different this year, but I still think it's going to be something that will be fun and challenging and keep me motivated to finish a pair of socks every month. Or I also have plans to knit a pattern called an Aran for Frederick. I do want to modify it a little bit, but the knit along there's actually a knit along for that, is for the duration of winter camp. I don't have to have the sweater finished by the end of the knit along, but I have to at least have made some progress, which I will be able to make some progress. I don't know that I'll be able to finish it because I haven't picked what yarn I'm going to use yet. I have 3 yarns in stash that I can use, but I also have a couple fleeces that I think would work up well if I spin them and then knit them into the sweater. So the sweater is a really cabled sweater. It calls for a worsted weight yarn. I have barely any worsted weight in my stash, and I definitely don't have enough worsted weight in one color to knit a sweater. So I have some DK and some sport weight yarns in stash that are sort of close enough for a sweater. I actually pulled all 3 of them out so you can see. I have the Rowan Cash Soft DK in bright red, scarlet cherry red. I have enough of this to knit the sweater if I make modifications, I think. Hold on, my timer's going off. I'll be right back. Alright, bread is in the oven for the next section of baking now at a different temperature. So, bright red. I actually have enough of this with modifications to knit the whole sweater, I believe. I have something like 1,200 yards. The other yarn that I am considering is this Alpaca sport weight. It is so soft and luxurious, and I just love this yarn. But it is a 2-ply, which don't show cables very well. I do think that I have enough of this if I make modifications to knit the sweater. Alpaca is really heavy, so I'm not sure that it would sit right if I knit it out of this, but it is an option. And then I have another alpaca in, I think I have 1,100 yards of this, of the gray alpaca. And then I also have Misty Alpaca DK 4-ply Baby Surrey Alpaca Sicklebatt. I have just under 950 yards of this. I really don't think that this is enough to knit the sweater. I really don't think so, but because of all of the cabling. But it is a possibility. So just like this, because this is alpaca and the silk blend, it is heavy, and I don't think that it'll hang right. So it's really this, or I have a fleece that I really want to spin for a sweater because it is the most gorgeous Shetland lamb fleece in the world. But that would require that I actually spin it and spin enough yarn and start knitting a little bit of it by the end of March, which I can totally do if that's all that I'm working on. But because I will be in winter camp, I don't know how much progress that I would get done if I did that. So I have to at least spin up a sample so that I can swatch this and swatch the other and see which works best. If I spin my own yarn for it, I need to decide if I'm going to spin it in DK, sport, or worsted weight. The sweater that I'm wearing right now is a worsted weight sweater. It's made out of Cascade 220. And I do wear it, but I really only wear it when it is really cold out. And it's not even full sleeves. So this really heavily cabled sweater that I want to knit, I don't know, even if I spin my own yarn, if I want to spin it to a worsted weight, because I think with all of the cables and with how heavy the yarn would be, I would just die. I would never be able to wear it. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I still have a couple weeks to think about it, and there's a thread on Ravelry in the designers group for this knit-along. So I posted there with my options and asking a question about gauge, just to see what input she may have, the designer may have, as well as some of the other people who are going to be knitting the sweater as well. So I don't really know what I'm going to do there, but I am going to knit the sweater next year. So I think that's all that I had to share with you guys today. Check my notes. Yep, that was it. I will definitely share my bread recipe since I interrupted my podcast so that I could change the timer and the temperature of the oven. It is bread that I make quite often, so I actually have the recipe memorized at this point. Yeah. If you guys want to get a hold of me, or if you want to play along with the pair of socks every month, or winter camp, or knitting the sweater with me, or have any ideas about yarn, you can, it's Ravelry, that's loraclare without the dot. So get a hold of me on either Ravelry or Instagram. I will be checking my, well, I'm on Ravelry almost every day, and I am on Instagram, if not every day, at least every other day. So feel free to get a hold of me and let me know what you think, or if you have any questions. Yeah, I will see you guys next weekend. Happy knitting.
Here.
Molly, are you excited you could go for a walk? Yeah? Bella. Hi, Bella. Hi, pretty girl.